Hello everyone, it's Suzy Shock, and welcome to your first yoga video. And we're working on the Sacred Truth Divine Manifestation. And what I love about yoga, specifically Vinyasa Yoga, is that you are moving with breath and movement, and through the breath and movement, you are able to listen and feel into your body's wisdom. And that's the whole point of doing these practices. Is to listen to what the body and the soul are communicating. And today I'm going to teach you the foundational posture, which is Tadasana or mountain pose, how to ground in that posture and get really stable in it so that you can take it into the other standing postures. And also, when I'm feeling kind of chaotic in my life, or I'm just feeling kind of anxious, I do my grounding breath, and then I just stand still in Tadasana, and it gets me centered in my body. It gets me connected to the earth, and I just feel calmer, and I have created a space of stability for myself. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you Tadasana to begin with, and then we're just going to do a little grounding breath, and then we'll move into our practice. So you can stay seated, but I prefer to do Tadasana standing. So what you're doing is you're spreading your feet out evenly, or your toes out evenly. So the four corners of the foot, so it would be behind the big toe mount, the little toe, and the two corners of the heel, right? So I'm just trying to find equal distribution between both feet. So we're going to root down through the feet, right? And then we'll do the grounding breath. But first I want to show you how we're doing Tadasana. So you root down, and then you're pulling the life force up through the feet. So my feet are grounded, and then I'm going to work on my muscles to support my body. So my quadriceps are going to engage, and my glutes are going to engage. So just notice the difference between when these are engaged and when they're not, right? I just kind of fell out and just slumping down. And this gives you the lift. So quadriceps engage, glutes engage, and then we're going to engage the bandhas, which are like seals or locks. So they're energy seals, but they also are physical activations of the muscle. So the mula bandha, or the root lock, is like pulling up at the pelvic floor. So what you're doing is you're engaging those really small, deep muscles, right? And then we move into the uddiyana bandha, which is the core lock, and that's the transverse abdominals. So those are engaged deep within the abdominal wall, all right? So I'm pulling up with my legs, quadriceps, glutes, mula bandha, uddiyana bandha, and I'm lifting up. That allows my heart to open, and then I do just a big shoulder shrug. And that is Tadasana. All right, so now that we're stable in our posture, gently close your eyes, and I'm going to guide you just through a quick grounding breath. All right, so visualize the first chakra, which is in the base of the spine, and we're just going to breathe into that full, even breath in through the nose, and gently out through the nose. And this is where you may want to engage that Ujjayi pranayama. It's in through the nose, out through the nose, with a slight constriction in the back of the throat, so it sounds like you're fogging up a mirror. It's a really meditative breath, and it's called breath of fire. So let's take one more breath, just like that. All right, now we're going to visualize breathing into the first chakra and guiding that breath down both legs, like it's spiraling down the legs and into the feet. So exhale the air from the lungs. Gentle inhale, guiding it down through the legs, anchoring it into the feet. And just notice how that feels. And we'll take another in-breath, and this time we're going to grow roots down into the earth, or like you're dropping an anchor into the earth, and you're just tethering yourself through all of the layers of the earth until you connect with the crystalline core of the earth. So exhale the air from the lungs, and inhale, visualize yourself connecting your life force with all of the layers and all of the resonances of the earth. The earth actually has 7 resonances that match our 7 chakras. So deep, deep inhale. And I always visualize my roots growing down and growing out and growing down and growing out. And then pause at the bottom of the inhale and then ease out the exhale. And when we think about the crystalline core of the earth, it's like a womb. It's just nurturing light, unconditional love. And you've just connected with that. So on the next breath, you're going to breathe it all the way up through the feet and anchor it back into first chakra. So exhale the air from the lungs. Gently guide the breath up and up and up and up and up and up. Visualize again, it's going through all 7 resonances. All that beautiful, unconditional, loving wisdom coming from Divine Mother, Mama Gaia, going up through the feet, up through the legs. Anchor it into the first chakra. All right, and now we're going to take our divinity, and there's this beautiful orb of light about 18 inches above everyone's head. It's called the Antakarana. It's your oversoul. It's your blueprint of your perfection, and it has the record of your past, your present, and your future. So we're going to exhale the air from the lungs. We're going to draw it in through the crown, through the third eye, through the throat, into the heart. So exhale air from the lungs and think of like a vortex above your head. And you're just going to breathe it into the vortex and it's going to spiral into the heart. All right, deep breath in. Pause and hold on the top of the inhale. And then passive exhale out. And just take a moment with eyes closed. How do you feel now? And a lot of times, again, when I feel chaotic, I'll do my grounding breath, I'll do my Tadasana, and sometimes I'll actually go out barefoot and I'll just do it in the grass, or I've got these beautiful pine trees. I'll stand right next to the pine tree and I'll root down next to the pine tree. Okay, so let's go into the rest of our practice. We're going to start in child's pose, so knees to the outside edges of the mat and big toes to touch. Shifting sitting bones back towards the heels. And then I just start in my child's pose just by kind of rocking side to side, side to side. And maybe you want to go down on the forearms. It's just a really beautiful release of the low lumbar spine, the inner thighs, the hips. And right now, just let the belly be soft, right? We don't need to engage any of the bandhas at this point. Long, even breath in through the nose, long, even breath out through the nose, and just firing up that Ujjayi Pranayama. Again, it's called breath of fire, and it's actually kind of heating the internal, or the insides of your body. It's heating you internally so that you can move more smoothly through your postures. All right, so you can stay doing this, or you can extend the arms nice and long. Also, feel free, if that's too deep, to bring the knees together and just arms down to your side and let the forehead surrender. Do what feels best in your body. And that's what I'm going to ask you to do throughout all of these practices. I'm just your guide, and if something doesn't feel good, modify. We've got our props, we've got our blocks, we've got our bolster, we've got our straps. All right, let's take about 3 more breaths, just as you are. Beautiful. 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then from your child's pose, slowly, slowly come on to hands and knees into tabletop pose. We're going to move in through cat and cow. And it's really important to have your spine be fluid through the postures, right? And warmed up. So on the in-breath, I'm just going to tip my tailbone to the sky and my belly's going to reach down to the floor and my heart's going to open, my chin's going to raise. And then on exhale, I'm just going to tip my tailbone very slowly. So think of articulating every vertebrae of your spine, chin to the chest. Inhale, tip the tailbone. And what you're doing is you're listening. Where am I holding tension in my spine? Exhale. I like to go slowly again for that reason, so that I can listen to what parts of my body are feeling good and what parts of my body are feeling tired or out of sorts. All right, let's do 3 more and do them with your own breath. When you're done with the 3, we'll just meet in tabletop again. Okay, neutral spine. We're going to thread the needle now and get some twisting into our tabletop pose and into our spine. So inhaling the right arm high, circle it around a little bit just to open up through the chest. Good, one more. And then reverse. Reach it high to the sky, full breath in. And on the exhale, we're not going to release the shoulder down to the mat yet. We're just going to sweep it through and then inhale and exhale, sweep it through. Really long, even breath. Good, one more time. Reach it up nice and high and then sweep it through and then let the shoulder rest. Let the side of the head rest. And then you can decide what to do. Sometimes I reach my top arm up and overhead to get a different type of stretch. And sometimes I extend the leg as well. So just notice what feels best in your body. Close your eyes, listen, listen, listen. And long, even breath in, long, even breath out. One more breath. Good. And then reground the left hand. If you have your leg coming out, bring it back in alignment. Reach the right arm nice and high, and then lower it back down to the earth. And let's do the other side. Inhale, left arm high. And exhale, just ease it through. We're not placing it on the mat yet. Inhale, bring it nice and high. Slow it down a little bit more. Exhale, sweep it through. Inhale, bring it high. Exhale, sweep it through. One more time. Inhale, bring it high. And then exhale, sweep it through. Lower the shoulder down to the mat. Side of the head if that feels okay. Again, top hand can reach up and overhead. Right leg can reach out. Do what feels good in your body. Good, and then slowly unravel. Nice. Grounding the hand, grounding the knee. And let's just do 2 cat and cows to kind of neutralize the spine again. So on the in-breath, tipping tailbone to the sky, open through the chest. Tipping tailbone to the floor, exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Neutral spine. Let's walk the hands out and find your first plank pose. We're going to set up for Tadasana, for downward facing dog. But think of Tadasana in your plank pose right now. Right? My quadriceps are engaged, my glutes are engaged. I'm pulling up with that Uddiyana Bandha. I'm pulling up with the Mula Bandha and I'm engaging the Uddiyana Bandha. Good, so I feel really stable in my plank pose, and now I'm going to lift up and moving down into downward facing dog, and just pedal the heels out, shifting the weight, shifting the gaze. Know that you can bend your knees. Know that you can just take tabletop. You don't have to do downward facing dog. You can also come down onto forearms if your wrists are a little tender. I broke my wrist a couple of years ago, and so there are times when it does feel tender to me still. And I just modify. All right. Stay as you are, lifting right leg high. Good, extend it nice and long. Maybe open the hip, knee to the sky, heel back towards the sitting bone. Square it off and then lower it down. Left leg can lift high, bend the knee, open the hip. Again, this is just an option, a suggestion. Good, let's square it off and lower it down. I want to stay here for just a couple of breaths. Now think of the resonance of the earth on the inhale coming up through the hands, through the arms, through the spine, and on the exhale, you're returning it down through the legs, through the heels, back into the earth. And then again, inhaling, up through the hands, through the arms, up through the spine. Exhale, release it down into the earth. All right, let's roll up into all 10 toes, bend the knees, belly to thighs. Slowly take yourself to the top of the mat. Okay, let's inhale and just put forearms on the thighs, right? So I just want to start there. Let the blood flow, reverse. And this could be a beautiful spine stretch, forward fold for you. Like I want you to be really mindful of your spine. And if you feel like you can do more, then just bring the belly to the thighs and let the torso kind of melt over. And if that still feels good, then you can slowly rock from side to side and maybe straighten the legs. What I want to avoid is this, where you're just hanging there from your spine. Doesn't look good, doesn't feel good. If you bend the knees and just let the belly rest, everything can surrender forward. Right? We're all working on flexibility. And just love where you're at. And for me, in Ragdoll, I like to just sway side to side. Make sure that you are looking between your knees. You're not looking at the top of the mat. So your beautiful neck, your cervical spine can get a good stretch. All right, let's hold here for 3. Beautiful 2. And 1. Come back to the center. Bend the knees, belly connects to the thighs. Sweep the arms up all the way into Tadasana Mountain Pose. And hands are going to come to heart center. I'm going to walk myself a little bit further up. All right, let's bring hands in prayer position to heart center and then set an intention for this class and for all the other classes that are following. What do you desire to get out of them? What do you desire to release? How do you intend to expand throughout this book? Breathe that intention in and breathe it out. We're going to move through Sir Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A. We'll do it nice and slowly with the breath. So inhaling, arms up and overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, ground the hands, step back into high plank. This first one I'm going to modify so you know what the modifications are. All right, so coming to knees, inhale. Exhale, I'm going to lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, find Cobra Pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, pull back into Child's Pose. And exhale, find Downward Facing Dog. So that's just a beautiful modification. And I do that often. Like I said, that I injured my wrist. And sometimes it doesn't want to do a full high to low plank Chaturanga Dandasana. All right, let's take an even breath in through the nose. And out through the nose. One more inhale. Exhale, return it back to the earth. Inhale, let's roll up onto all 10 toes, bend the knees, belly to thighs. Exhale, walk yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, surrender and fold. Inhale, sweep it high to the sky. This time, take a steeple grip. On the exhale, do a nice side body bend to the right. Inhale, back to the center. Find length. Exhale, side body bend to the left. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, little baby back bend. You can certainly release the hands. Good. Inhale, palms to touch. Exhale, hands through the heart, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, ground the hands. This would be your additional modification. So you're on your knees and you lower down Chaturanga. And rather than all the way to the floor, you're just to a 90-degree bend of the elbows. And then you find upward facing dog instead of cobra. And release into downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. I'm connecting my hands and feet to the earth. Beautiful. Deep breath in. Even breath out. Good. Inhale, roll up onto all 10 toes. Bend the knees, belly to thighs. Walk yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, surrender and fold. Inhale, reaches the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, let's bring the hands down to the side. I just want to do a little chest expansion here. So you can grab opposite elbow, or you can interlace the hands behind you. Root down through the feet, lifting all the way up, and then shoulder shrug opens up the heart. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bend the knees. Move into a forward fold with that chest expansion. And let the head, crown of the head follow. So again, you could use a strap. You could grab opposite elbow. Whatever works for you right now. But just nice opening of the upper body. Hold and breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Weight goes into the balls of the feet when we do forward fold. One more inhale. Exhale, hands release down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, ground the hands. I'm going to do a full chaturanga. We're going to shift the weight forward, squeeze the elbows in, lower 90 degrees. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Long breath in. Even breath out. Again. Really surrendering breath out. All right, let's roll up onto all 10 toes. Bend the knees, belly to thighs. Take yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep it up into chair pose, Utkatasana. When we're in chair pose, weight is going into the heels. Just find your Tadasana here. So you can even stand up, reground, and then sit back again. Breathing in and breathing out. Again, breathing in and breathing out. One more time, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Ground the hands, stepping back. I'm going to do my knees this time, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're going to go into sun salutation B with a warrior two. So inhaling, right leg high. Exhale, let's bring knee to nose. And then slowly step it forward. So it's a heel to arch alignment. And I'm going to open up. Beautiful. So let's find Tadasana in our warrior two. Adjust the feet accordingly. Think of feet grounding down and then energy pulling up. And I'm engaging my quadriceps, I'm engaging my glutes, I'm stacking my spine. So I've got that Mula Bandha, that lift of the pelvic floor, that engagement of the Uddiyana Bandha, and then my arms can open up nicely. How do you feel? Good. And then with the knee, you can play around with the knee. I want the knee to stack over the ankle, not go beyond. So if you're going beyond, widen the stance a little bit or shorten the stance, whatever feels better to you. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Inhale, let's reverse our warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. Again, nice long and even breath in. Long and even breath out. So now all our weight is forward. Can you ground through the outside edge of the back foot, right? And stay stable. One more breath. Good. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, take it down to the mat. Front foot's going to meet the back. And we're going to lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. And I'm going to shift over to this side so that my back isn't to you. Inhale, left leg high. And exhale very slowly. Knee to nose. Into the top of the mat. Ground the back foot. Spiral yourself open. Arms come out and then sink down into it. All right. So I'm rooting down. One thing I like to do in my warrior poses is consider tearing the mat in half. So I'm pressing through the ball of the front foot. Heel is still grounded. Outside edge of the back foot. That activates the glutes. And then pull it up. Nice. All right. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Long, even breath in. Long, even breath out. Good. One more. And again, inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, take it down to the mat. Front foot meets the back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Long, even breath in. Get yourself grounded. Long, even breath out. Rolling up onto all 10 toes. Bend the knees, belly to thighs. Take yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, sink back into your chair. Weight into the heels, deep breath in. Let's just do a little pulsing so that we're kind of activating the glutes, right? Pulsing, pulsing, pulsing and hold. Pulsing, pulsing, pulsing and hold. One more. Pulse and pulse. Pulse and hold. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, ground the hands, step back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. All right, now we're going to add on. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Slowly bring it through into warrior two. Ground the feet. Sweeping it open. Shoulders release. Breathing in and breathing out. Get yourself lined up. All right, from here, we're going to interlace the hands behind us. Little shoulder shrug, right? Getting everything warm. Inhale, we're slowly going to pivot. And exhale, we're going to find humble warrior. And here's where I'm going to challenge you next. Can we lift off into an airplane pose, but just enjoy your humble warrior for a moment. This beautiful surrendering pose. Make sure the crown of the head is reaching down towards the mat. Hold and breathe. 3. Beautiful. 2. Good. Coming up on 1, we're going to pivot. So we're in a lunge and then launch off. Your toes can be touching. Find that Tadasana on one leg, right? Everything's squeezing into the middle and lifting up. Heart is open. You can release the hands if that feels better. You can stay as you are. Toes can be touching. Or you can gently lift out and out and out into a full airplane. Or you can do airplane with chest extension like this. Whatever works for you. Hold and breathe. 3. Hold and breathe. 2. Hold and breathe. 1. Stepping back into warrior 1. Hips are square. Inhale. And then exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Front foot meets the back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, warrior 2. I'm going to go to the other side. Sweeping it open. Good. Get stable. Get grounded. Beautiful. Inhale, opens the chest, and then exhale, interlace hands or opposite elbow. Nice little shoulder shrug. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, we're going to square our hips towards the front of the mat, and exhale, find humble warrior. So we're just bowing down and kind of surrendering in this pose. Again, can you find stability between the front leg, front foot, and the back? The back one really has to be anchored by the outside edge of the back foot. Long, even breath in. Long, even breath out. Good, one more breath. Crown of the head reaches down towards the mat. Nice, and on your next inhale, slowly, slowly come up. Moving into lunge, which I'm a little wobbly. Good, and then launch off. Toes can be touching, they can be releasing. You can release the hands. Stay as you are, or slowly move into a full airplane pose. Right, grounding through the foot. Stabilizing, pulling that life force up through the leg while we're balancing on one leg. Pull it into the Mula Bandha, the Uddiyana Bandha. Good. Hold and breathe here. 3. And 2. Stepping back into warrior one. On one, inhale. And then exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Front foot meets the back. Knees or toes. I'm going to go all the way down to cobra. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, pulling in to downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, roll up onto all 10 toes. Bend the knees, belly to thighs. Let's take yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale into chair pose. Weight goes into the heels, and then let's just pulse again. And pulse. Close the eyes and feel how things are doing in your body. Weight in the heels. I don't want to feel it in my knees. Good. Love it, love it, love it. Good job. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Pause and hold. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Pause and hold. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Pause and hold. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, ground the hands, step back. I'm going to come all the way down. You can do chaturanga or you can do cobra. Up dog or cobra. Pulling back. Good, downward facing dog. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Nice. All right, now we're going to do a warrior one instead of a warrior two. So inhale, right leg high. And exhale into warrior one. This one's a heel-to-heel alignment. It's a little bit shorter than warrior two. And I'm going to draw my right hip back, left hip forward. Squirting down like I'm tearing the mat in half. And when you do that again, it engages the quads and the glutes. And then lift up and overhead. Beautiful. All right, from here, let's reach forward, reach forward, reach forward. And then sweep the arms back. Interlace the hands or opposite elbow. Nice little shoulder shrug opens us up. All right, we're going to launch off onto the right foot. Could be here. Could be here. Could be here, could be here. I don't really care. Find what works for you. Take a long, even breath in. And a beautiful, beautiful breath out. One more long, even breath. Release the hands. Now I'm going to challenge you from warrior one into warrior three, bringing the arms up and overhead. Hold here, 3 and 2. Get a bend in the knees, step back on 1. Heel to heel alignment, straighten the front leg. I want to see those hip bones facing the front of the room or the top of the mat. Good, so again, right hip back, left hip forward. Let's bring hands to hip flexors now, like a little karate chop right in the hip flexors. We're going to move into pyramid from here. So inhale, lift up and over the hands, and exhale, just guide yourself forward. You may want to block for flexibility, like right here. There. Now think of the spine getting nice and long. I'm not going to look up. I'm going to look straight down in front of me. And just notice the release in the low back and the hamstring. Breathing in and breathing out. If you have more flexibility in you, and I don't want you to overstretch, right? That's no good. That's how you get injured. So if you have more flexibility and it feels okay, you can bring fingertips down to the mat or you can surrender all the way down. Right? And we're not just sinking down. We're still very active through the legs. Think of Tadasana legs in pyramid pose. We're lifting up and then we're surrendering down. But we have to have that foundation in order to hold the posture properly and feel that stability. All right, let's hold here for 3. Hold here for 2. Hold here for 1. Go to a halfway lift. Move your props. Ground the hands, bend the knees, stepping back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Do whatever variation feels good. Up dog or cobra. And downward facing dog. Long breath in. Even, beautiful breath out. Good. One more time. Long, even breath in. Exhale it out. Good. Let's inhale left leg high. And exhale into warrior one. Heel to heel alignment. Sweeping it up. Square the hips off. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. So both hip bones are facing the top of the mat evenly. So if your hips are open, you may need to shorten the stance a little bit, right? If I'm way back here, it's hard to square it off without my back knee impacted. So I'll just step it up a little bit more and then think of the back foot turning in a little bit. Good. Little tuck of the pelvis, arms reach nice and high. Knee over ankle. It's a beautiful thing. Pause and hold. See if you can close your eyes and feel the same stability. Good. Now reaching the fingertips forward. Interlacing hands behind you. Take a nice, even shoulder shrug. We're going to launch off again into airplane. Beautiful, beautiful. Pause and hold and breathe. I don't care how high the leg is lifted. It could be right here. It's a beautiful thing. Think of the chest opening. I'm grounding down on one foot. Drawing back up for that Tadasana. Beautiful. Release the hands. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, moving into a warrior three. Hold and breathe. 3. Beautiful. 2. Bend the knees, step it back on 1. Arms come up, legs straightens. Good. Hands come down to the hip flexors. Take a deep breath in, lift up. Over the hands so the spine is nice and long. You may want the block. You may be able to reach the mat, whatever works, but not overstretching. Okay, and then notice, are you gazing up? Or are you getting your neck, your cervical spine nice and long? And bowing over into pyramid pose. All is well, all is well, all is well. You're doing a great job. Let's do 3 more breaths here. 2 more breaths. 1 more beautiful breath. Get a bend in the front knee. Step the back foot out, front foot meets the back. Toes, knees, whatever works. Chaturanga, cobra. Good. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. 1 more long, even breath in. Rolling up onto all 10 toes, bend the knees, belly to thighs. Let's walk yourself to the center of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, full. Inhale, sweep all the way up into Tadasana Mountain Pose. And exhale, hands back to heart center. So now let's do another balancing pose. We're going to do tree pose. Close your eyes, ground yourself into your Tadasana. Get a nice strong posture. Gently blink your eyes open. So if you don't have a strong posture, we're going to move into tree pose. And I want you to bring the weight onto the right foot. So if I don't have a strong Tadasana, this is where I am, right? Not great on the back, not great on the hips or anything. So strong Tadasana, slowly lift the leg. So the foot can come in tree pose to the ankle, the calf, or the upper inner thigh. And if you're in the upper inner thigh, you're pressing foot into thigh, thigh into foot. That helps really engage all those beautiful muscles, and then we're lifting up nice and tall. Hands come up and overhead. Staying as you are, or you can take a little chest expansion. You can gaze up to the sky. Do what you do. Just avoid putting the foot into the knee, right? That's compromising your beautiful knee. All right, let's hold here for 3, 2, and 1. So rather than putting that foot down, we're going to bring it to the center. My right hand is going to come to the outside of the left knee. I'm going to breathe in. I'm just going to take a little twist. Really challenge your balance. Challenge your Tadasana. And I'm doing this very purposefully so that you understand the principles of Tadasana and you can take it in to all of the other postures. So in this twist, I'm bringing the belly through, shoulders, and then finishing with the gaze. Love it. Come back to the center. Let the foot come down to the mat. Pedal it out. All right, find your Tadasana. Anchor down. Draw that life force up. Put the weight into the left foot. Other foot comes off. So foot can be here, calf, or upper inner thigh. Nice. Pressing thigh into foot, foot into thigh, lifting up, arms come up and overhead. Very nice job. All right, if you really want to challenge your balance, close your eyes. Your eyes are a very, very big part of your balance. And it's okay if you fall out. Just notice how you feel. Good, let's hold here for 3. Beautiful, 2. And 1, so still balancing on that foot. Left hand's gonna come to the outside of the right knee. I'm a little wobbly on this side. All right, I'm lifting up tall, engaging. My belly's gonna come through my shoulders and then my gaze, reaching back. Good. Hold 3. Hold 2. Back to the center. On 1, release it down. Pedal it out. All right, let's take ourselves down to the mat. So we'll do one more vinyasa. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, ground the hands, stepping back, move through Chaturanga. Could be up dog or cobra. And moving into downward facing dog. It's a beautiful thing. Good, good, good. All right. Inhaling back into plank pose. So now I'm going to challenge you in Tadasana in a side plank or Vashisthasana. So we're slowly going to roll over onto the right hand. And you could be here as well. I don't care if you're on all, or if you're up like this, or if you're down like this. I like to do it this way now. Like I said, because of my wrist, it feels better. But the principles of Tadasana are the same here as well. Right? You are rooting down through the side of the foot. So it will be right here. And I'm squeezing up and I'm lifting up and open. Hold and breathe 3. Beautiful 2. Come back to the center on 1. Let's come back down onto our knees. Roll the wrists out a little bit, especially the right one. And then we'll go on to the other side. So find your plank pose. Rolling onto the left wrist. Could be here, stacking feet. And then make sure these hips are lifted, that they're not sinking down. Good, hold and breathe. Hold and breathe, you got it. Tadasana, inside plank. Hold and breathe 3. Beautiful 2. Coming down on 1 to the knees, and then gently roll everything out. Nice. All right, now we're just going to do a little spine strengthening. So coming onto knees again, lowering all the way down to the mat. So think of Tadasana on the mat. So when we're doing cobra pose, it's a very, very active posture. We're not just letting the legs hang heavy. I'm pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. My kneecaps are drawn up, my glutes are engaged. My mula bandha, that root lock, that core lock, they're all engaged because you want to protect the back. All right, so thumbs come down, brushing the low ribs. I'm gazing down to the mat. And on the inhale, pressing feet into the mat, lifting head, neck, and shoulders. Hands off the mat as well. I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together. Hold here, 3. 2. And release the right cheek down to the mat. Let everything surrender. All is well, all is well. Good. Let's practice cobra one more time. Chin comes to the center. Thumbs are brushing the low ribs. So I'm doing 90 degrees with my elbows. Tops of the feet, my feet are apart. Pressing my feet down into the mat. Quadriceps engaged, glutes engaged. The bum is engaged. Inhale and lift. Neck is long. I'm gazing right to the top of the mat. Hold here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Chest is nice and open. Hold here. 3, 2, and release the left cheek down to the mat. And 1. And then just kind of rock your hips side to side. Let everything loosen up. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let's bring chin back to the center. Pull back into child's pose and get a nice, good stretch. But let's do traditional child's pose with the knees together, belly to thighs. You can do a block for the head. You can stack the hands, or you can bring the forehead all the way down to the mat, arms down to your side. You can even take like a nice open mouth exhale if you need to get rid of some congestion in your body. All right, let's slowly roll up till we're sitting on our heels and just sweep the feet through. We're going to move into Dandasana and Janu Shirshasana. So in a seated pose, this time you're rooting down through the sitting bones. So I'm going to tip my pelvis. You can bend the knees if that feels better. You can sit on a block if that feels better. Dandasana is very active though. So I'm rooting down through my hands. You could have blocks there too. I'm reaching out through the heels, and my heels are actually lifting off the mat. And then I'm lifting up through the back of the spine, and then just a little tuck of the chin. Hold and breathe. 3, 2, and 1. All right, let the heels come back down. I'm going to take my left foot, put it into the inner thigh. If that's too deep of a stretch on the hip, put a blocker blanket under the knee. Squaring my hip bones off to the front of the mat. My right leg is very active. I'm going to inhale, lift up, and exhale, fold. Now this is where you may want to strap. You can stay here, or you can surrender down a little bit more. You can put a block for your forehead. But remember to get the cervical spine, the neck nice and long. So I'm not going to look up. I'm going to gaze down towards my knee. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more inhale. One more exhale. Good, slowly release. Let's ground the left hand, lift the hips high, and just do a nice front body opening and wild thing. Lower back down. Let's switch sides. Actually, let's do a little twist. So let's ground the left foot to the inner thigh. Breathing in again, we're sitting up in Tadasana. Take a deep breath because you want the spine long for any sort of twist. We're lifting up and lengthening through the spine. And on the exhale, I'm going to wrap my right arm around my left thigh. I'm going to pull my belly through and then finish with the gaze and planting my left hand behind me. So I'm lifting up tall and just a little twist. Nice job. Good, and release, little counter twist. And back to the center, extend the legs long, give them a shake. Shake, shake, shake. Good. All right, this next one, you're gonna bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Now here's me not in Tadasana, and here is me in Tadasana. I'm pulling everything up. I'm reaching out through the back side of the leg, reaching out through the heel. So my quadricep is shortening here. Lengthening through the back side, shortening through the front. Inhale, there's a little baby twist, and then exhale, fold. Janu Shirshasana. Another breath. Use the block, use a strap, whatever you need to make this the most expansive posture that you can. Remember, we're not looking up, we're looking down towards the knee, down towards the mat, so the cervical spine is nice and long. Doesn't it feel good to get down to the mat? Good, one more breath. Gently release. Right hand's going to ground, lifting up onto that knee. Find Wild Thing on this side. Beautiful front body opening. And then back down to the mat. Nice, and now I'm just going to plant my foot to the inner thigh. Lifting up tall, find Tadasana in your seated pose. Inhale, and then exhale, I'm going to grab my thigh, left hand around my right thigh. My belly's going to pull through my shoulders and finishing with my gaze. So whenever you're doing a twist, you want to twist from the lowest part of the spine first. So I always say belly first, shoulders gaze. Long even breath in. Nice passive exhale out. One more breath. Perfect. Let's bring it back to the center. Extend the leg long, give it a nice good shake. All right, let's bring it down onto your back. We're going to move into bridge pose, so bring the heels as close as you can. Nice. And think of like your little cat spine or your cow. We're just going to peel the tailbone up, and then the low lumbar, and then moving up to the thoracic. I'm shimmying my shoulders underneath. Think of Tadasana here. We're grounding through the feet. We're pulling everything nice and long up through the torso and allowing the chest to open. Let's hold here and breathe for 3. Beautiful, 2. And slowly release it down on 1. Bring the knees into the chest. Give them a nice hug. Rolling side to side. All right, now you have options. You can bring your legs to the sky, feet to the sky. You can put a block or bolster under your feet. This is going to be more restorative. If you would like to do plow pose and shoulder stand, now is a beautiful time. So again, you need to think of Tadasana only upside down. So I like to start in plow because it gives me an opportunity to get my cervical spine nice and long, making sure we're not pressing the neck into the mat. All the weight is resting on the shoulders. So again, block or bolster under the hips if you want more restorative, feet to the sky. And if you're doing plow pose or shoulder stand, we're going to lift up and over. I'm shimmying my shoulders underneath, so they are creating the foundation. Bringing my hands onto my back and lifting my legs nice and tall. Long, even breath in. Long, even breath out. We're engaging all the same muscles if you are in shoulder stand, right? My legs are very active. There's nothing just sinking and sagging. Everything is active, supporting each other. Every part of my body. Because if they're not active, that puts a lot of unwanted stress on the back of the head and on the shoulders. Everything is active. Hold here for 3, 2. Knees come down. Maybe you want to take your plow pose. And everyone just gently make your way down into child's pose. So happy baby, not child's pose. Happy baby. So you're grabbing onto the inside arches of the feet. Rocking side to side. Good. And again, just such a beautiful release of the low lumbar spine. All right, knees are going to come into my chest. I'm going to let the left leg go long, move into supine twist. Giving the right knee a squeeze. Take an inhale And on the exhale, guide it across the body. Again, maybe you want to have a bolster under the knee or a block under the knee. You decide. So my knee's going to come over, and then my right arm is going to reach out to the other side, finishing with the gaze. Nice little twist for the digestive tract. One more long, even breath in. Just a really beautiful exhale. And then gently release, bringing the knee across the body again, maybe doing little circles with it. These little compressions, again, are really good for the digestive tract. And then releasing, right leg down. Left leg comes into the chest, give it a good squeeze, maybe little circles. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, guide it across the body. And then my shoulders are going to come and square off. You may want to block or bolster under that knee. And then finishing with the gaze. So this is really similar to the twist we did after Janushirshasana, only we're laying down. Couple more breaths. Maybe an open mouth exhale. Good. And then bringing the knee back to the center. Little circles with the knee, little compressions. Good. Have the right knee meet the left. Wrap the forearms around the shins. Bring the forehead up to the knees on the inhale. Press shins into forearms. Get a beautiful stretch through the back. Inhale, and then exhale, opening up for your final resting posture, Shavasana. Find something that's comfortable. You may want to put something under your knees. You may want to do legs up the wall. Or maybe you're just fine as you are, arms spread out wide. Let the breath go back to normal. We're releasing Ujjayi Pranayama, and we're just breathing in through the nose. Feel free if you need to take open mouth exhales. Just be soft with yourself. Staying just as you are if you want to remain in Shavasana. If you are ready to come out, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Bringing awareness back to your beautiful body. Let's reach arms up and overhead, taking a nice long full body stretch. And when you're ready, rolling on to your side. Taking a moment to just listen to your body's wisdom. What did it communicate throughout the class? What do you need to pay attention to and honor? What's going really well in your body? And when you feel ready, coming up to a comfortable cross-legged seat. Eyes are gently closed. Hands are in prayer position to your heart center. Gently guiding prayer hands to the third eye center. May you have peace in your thoughts. Prayer hands come to your lips. May you have peace in your words. Prayer hands come back to your heart. Peace in your heart and your actions. Bowing forward to seal in this beautiful practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in Divine Manifestation in our meditation time. Have a beautiful day.